This is Tee to Green, Central Ohio's premier golf show, presented by X Golf. Now here's your host, recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Southern Ohio PGA of America and Hall of Fame, the Fan's own Skip Mosick.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Tee to Green here on The Fan. The weather remains hot and dry. Hopefully there are some golf plans in your future. Remember, hydrate accordingly. Busy week in the golf world. A major on the ladies' side while it's the final signature events of the season on the PGA Tour. We'll check in at Hartford and chat with SI.com's Gary Van Sickle. The first tee of Central Ohio is in the midst of its first wave of summer programs. The next one will get underway in July. Greg Wright of the first tee of Central Ohio will hop in and tell us about that. And as always, we have another great golf prize package to give away. Very important, no Twitter game this week. No Twitter game this week, so you want to stay tuned for that. But we will begin this week with former Buckeye Neal Shipley, who's making his professional debut this week up in Canada on the PGA Tour Americas. Ship off to a good start, -6. He's 7 shots back. And when we caught up with him earlier this week, we asked him what it's like to finally be teeing it up as a pro after all the great things he's been through since the last sit-down we did with him before the Masters in April.
I'm pumped. It's great to be up here in Canada, and, we got a great golf course and good setup for the week, and, everything that I've accomplished, I think, has really got me ready to go for what's next here.
Quite the whirlwind for you, Neal. I mean, from the Masters, all the lead up to it, and then back here for the Kepler, the Big Tens, all of the emotions with Ohio State's deep run into the NCAAs, then Q School, and then the U.S. Open. I mean, I know you're a young guy, but that's a lot of golf and a lot of travel and a lot of time zones just in the last couple of months. What's been the toughest part, and how are you feeling physically?
We're feeling pretty good right now. It just took a lot of time this week to rest. It might not be quite as prepared as we normally are for a tournament, but I think, in this situation, it's really important to be well rested and ready to go on. So, excited for what's ahead. And, just one of those things you have to learn to deal with when you're professional. Your body's really important. And so we're trying to learn that and learn how to take care of it.
You win a 9-for-1 playoff at Q School to get your PGA Tour Americas card. This is after I don't know how many holes that day, but take us through that pressure cooker of a situation.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you got to make birdie on that first hole, and I was really lucky enough to hit a good wedge shot into the green to about 3 feet and make a good putt, and then you there's 3 other guys that make birdie on that hole too, so you got to go to the second hole, and you're also thinking again, I got to make birdie if I want to survive in advance. And I was lucky enough that I was the only guy that came out with a 3 on the second hole, and punched our ticket through up here to Canada. It's an exciting day, and it's pretty funny though. We turned around right after that and headed for Pinehurst. So. Not a lot of time to let that set in.
What's it like during that playoff, Neal? I mean, I know no one's rooting against anybody or for someone else to mess up, but at the same time, I mean, there's 9 guys all wanting the same thing, and only one of you is going to get it.
It's tough. You know that the odds are stacked against you, and you just try to hit some good golf shots, and if other guys, they can chip in and make eagle or hole out or whatnot, but. Very lucky enough to avoid that, and I just did, took care of what I could take care of.
I know you don't have to worry about it now, but for those who don't know, I mean, if you don't win that playoff, that leaves you where? Just trying to Monday qualify in each week? I mean, man, that's huge.
Yeah, it's massive. I'm fully exempt now for the whole Canadian swing, and I can just kind of show up to the events and plan a schedule, and it's not as much, back and forth from Canada to the States, and, actually kind of have like a roadway to, the Corn Ferry Tour this summer.
We're chatting with former Buckeye Neal Shipley, making his pro debut this week up in Canada. Tee to Green here on The Fan. And as you mentioned, you go from that high to Pinehurst at the U.S. Open, where you were low-am there for the week. How was that experience for you?
It's unbelievable. The USGA puts on a first-class event, and the way they take care of everyone there is unbelievable. The golf course was just phenomenal, and the crowds were just crazy. They're huge, and it was cool to have that much energy on a golf course.
Low amateur at the Open, that comes on the heels of the same thing at the Masters. Man, we can see the list of names that have also done that. Puts you in very rare company. Have you had a chance to catch your breath on that accomplishment, and has it even begun to sink in yet?
I really haven't. Obviously, I found out about that, and I think it's just amazing to have my name up there with, some of the greats of the game. And, you talk about, Jack Nicklaus and, Phil Mickelson and people like that. I mean, that's some of golf's royalty. And I just, I know that I have big shoes to fill there, and that I'm going to have to keep working hard to, do what they did during their professional days.
So many memorable moments for you, Neal, the last couple of months. From the Masters to, playing with Tiger, Low-Am, NCAA run that Ohio State made, Q School into last week. Is it even possible to rank those as far as what might have been the best?
I don't think I can. It's all just been so amazing and just great experience, and I've made a lot of memories that no matter what happens in my professional career, I'm going to have, some cool moments to look back on when I'm, much older.
Obviously, things get even more real for you this week up in Canada. Uplands Golf Club. Tell us about the venue. Had you seen the course prior to arriving? And I guess, are you familiar at all with the courses on the upcoming schedule?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen this golf course before. I've heard some things about it taking driver out of your hand just because it's, pretty tight, and that's definitely true on a few holes. But the condition of the golf course is great, and, we're really excited for that. And, to answer your other question, I don't really know about any of the other golf courses up here, so it's going to be, a lot of learning to do on the road and real quickly, and excited for the opportunity to compete against some, really quality golfers up here in Canada.
Neal, for people who don't know how the PGA Tour Americas works, tell us what you need to do between now and, I guess, Labor Day to put yourself in position to advance to maybe Korn Ferry Tour status for next year.
Yeah, so I believe if I'm top 10 in the points list after the entire season is done, then that will get you a Korn Ferry card for the next year. And then if you're top 3 in the Canadian swing, but you're not top 10 in the points list overall for the whole season, you also get a card. So there's a couple avenues, and just got to go and play some solid golf and consistently through the next 9 events, and that can get you a Korn Ferry card and get you even a little closer to the PGA Tour.
Neal, you mentioned during your press conference Sunday, after all of the amateur success, you're finally ready to cash some checks. We saw the Curly Fries head cover last week. Is that just the beginning for you?
Yeah, it's obviously, playing amateur golf is a ton of fun, and, you play to win trophies, but, it'll be nice to, cash a check, at the end of a week when you make a cut, and, help offset some of those expenses. We're excited about a lot of the partnerships that we have, and like the Arby's deal, and it's been cool to have a lot of partners interested in me and supporting me, and we've just been really happy with everything that's going on from that front.
Neal, last thing, your Buckeye teammate Maxwell Motivon is also playing this week. How cool is it to see both of you guys teeing it up as professionals this week?
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's good to have a familiar face out here. The professional golf life, it can get pretty lonely really quickly. You travel a lot on your own, and you stay, usually in a hotel room a lot of times on your own, and so having a friend around that we can room up together or get an Airbnb together, and I'm excited to kind of experience this summer with him, and I think it's going to help both of us out a lot.
Former Buckeye Neal Shipley, again, making his professional debut this week up in Canada. Neal, it's been an awful lot of fun watching all the success you've had the last couple of months. We're all pulling for you. Thanks a lot for popping on, okay?
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you having me on.
Again, Shipley is at -6. He's 7 back heading into the weekend. His former teammate, as we mentioned, Maxwell Motivon, finished -3 and misses the cut by a shot. All right, let's check the rest of your leaderboards as we get you warmed up now with some chip shots.
97.1 The Fan's Tee to Green Chip Shots, presented by BMI Federal Credit Union.
TPC River Highlands, just outside of Hartford, the venue for the final signature events on the PGA Tour this season. Tom Kim, minus 13, 62-65 the first 2 days for Kim, who says he wants to continue playing well.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely going in today just not really thinking about the score. I'm playing really well, and I know kind of what I'm doing on the golf course, so just really executing my game plan. That's just kind of how I'm doing it, and the score is the score. I've been playing really, really solid, and I've been saying the past few minutes that just it's not about this week. It's about keep building these momentum blocks for the rest of the season. 3